Now that we have our routes set up and can access them with the appropriate URLs, let's now add a way for us to navigate between them in the navigation bar. To do so, we'll be using a component named router-link. This component generates links pointing to the path or route that we specify. You can configure a lot of things with router-link, which we'll get back to throughout this section. In this lecture though, we'll be using its most simple form. To add a link with the router-link component, we'll be using the to attribute to specify the URL path that the link should point to. Let's first add a link to the site name so that we're navigated to the front page when clicking it. And we'll do that within the app.vue file. So instead of this link that we have already, let's add a router link tag and specify a to attribute with a value of /. So this is the path that the link should point to. And I'll also add some classes matching the existing one from below. And I will also copy this and just make it bold. So let's reformat this slightly and remove the link that we had already. So this component will be rendered as an anchor tag linking to the front page and with the text and classes that we specified. You will see that in a moment after adding 2 more links. Let's also add links for both of the menu items. So we have some links down here already, but instead of this, I want to use this router link component. So router-link, exactly as we saw before, to the front page as well, because this is the products link. And I'll just duplicate this line for the cart page and /cart for the to attribute. And remove the existing menu items. Note that in case we needed to, we could also use the vbind directive together with the to attribute. Let's verify that what I just wrote actually works. So let's see if we can navigate between the pages. Indeed we can. And let's try clicking on the site name as well, and this also works. Great, so everything works as promised. If I inspect one of the menu items, you will see that an anchor tag has actually been rendered in place of the router link component. Also notice that the link has the router link active class, which is automatically added with the purpose of you being able to style the currently active link. This lets you show the user which page he or she is currently on, something that we'll get back to soon. You might be asking yourself if you can't just use a normal anchor tag instead of the router link component. The answer is that you can't, and the reason is that Vue would not react to you clicking the link. This means that the browser would send an HTTP request to the server and the page would be reloaded, as is the case for every website that is not a single page application or SPA. What happens when you use the router link component is that Vue attaches an event handler to the generated link, and therefore Vue can handle the navigation instead of the browser's default action taking over. Those were the very basics of adding navigation links with the router link component. Let's move on to styling the currently active link.